Today, we get to build a Lego set of one of our most fantasized childhood things. Right after this intro. Hello and welcome to Bricks and Toys. That is Toys with a Z. My name is Brandon, and today we are building a Lego version of something we have all fantasized about when we were kids. And that is a treehouse. How many of you out there watching this video, when you were kids, you always wanted to make a clubhouse, make a fort, go make a tree house? Now, I grew up in northern Nevada, up in Reno, and there was no trees, but there was plenty of ground and plenty of wood laying around in the town I lived in. And my brother and I, we even made a fort growing up. And it was cool because we made it have 2 rooms. Each room was probably about the size of a pallet. And I remember we would work on it before we would go to school and after we would come home from school. And I remember one morning he was doing the roof on it. He backed the hammer right into my chin, and I had to go through the whole school day with a huge chin. We built that fort, and we had so much fun with it. We even built a porch, and when we got tired of the porch, we put a tarp around the porch with some nails, filled it full of water, and climbed on in. And then we had a big giant swimming pool. Well, not giant, but small swimming pool that could fit at least 2 or 3 kids. 3 tight, 2 pushing it. And it was awesome. And it was really a sad day when we had to tear it down to make room to store more cars in our backyard. But, you know, that's my experience with a fort. And, you know, we all have our own experience. But for me growing up, it wasn't really available at the time to build one in a tree. I always wanted to do it, and I never got a chance. But we get to do that today by building this Lego Ideas Treehouse set number 21318, coming in at 3,036 pieces. Now this set, it did come out in 2019. I do believe it's on the chopping block for the end of this year. And currently it is about $240, or if it's still on sale with Amazon, about $200. And that's a really good deal to get it $40 off if you still can. That's what I did. And if you still want this set, you might want to check that out. So overall, I'm super excited about it. Let's go unbox this sucker. Starting off again, I do have my handy dandy bin. These bins are coming in super clutch. Super organized, super easy to find all the bags. You just set the box off to the side and get back to it if you need it, which I do for my other parts of the video. So it's just nice to get it out of the way. Come on. There we go. Bags are escaping. So let's go ahead and let's do our dump. Oh. Well, that was uneventful as all hell. So our dump was cut short by this extra box. So now let's go open up that. There we go. And there we have the full picture of what we have. So we are greeted by a really large book, and this book is actually really cool. Now, hopefully it doesn't smell like fermented ink, because as of lately, these books I'm finding that are in plastic, all the smells of the ink gets entrapped. Yeah, but not as bad as some builds that I've had, but it's got a good wop to it. So this book actually operates like a normal book. Wow. That is crazy. So it's long ways and narrow. Instead of being like this, it's like this. So this is really interesting. And it also has some other Lego ideas sets on the back that you probably can't get no more, but you can find on your local Bricklink or eBay website, probably for 5 times more than what they originally were. Because that's what we do here at Lego. We go retire and then we charge double. But anyway, no gripe. Let's take a look at it while we're looking at the book. Looks like 894 steps, coming in at 427 pages. So that's kind of a few steps. 894, I was not expecting that. Probably has to do with all of the tree work. There's a lot of tree branches in this set. The amount of bags that we have looks like 19 bags, guys. So 19 bags is quite a bit. I was not expecting on that. So we're looking at 19 bags and see if anything stands out within the bags. A lot of browns, greens. We do have the stuff to make the fall leaves. Now the leaves are not in numbered bags. I just noticed that. Neither are the green ones. So I'm going to guess it's going to come to a point of the book where it's going to say, do you want to go brown or do you want to go green? And then you go from there. So yeah, everything seems like the normal run-of-the-mill on the colors and the bags. Up next is the time lapse. So enjoy the time lapse because you get to watch this while I get to sit there and just and I have given myself about 3 days to get this build done for you all. That's kind of a tight deadline, so I better get to work. Enjoy the time lapse. the Lego Ideas Treehouse. Set number 21318, coming in at 3,036 pieces. Let's get into it, guys. Starting off, I did both colors of leaves. I don't believe it has to be left or right. I can believe that can be in the middle and transitioning from spring to fall. And that's exactly what I did. So that's my take on those leaves. That's a hot thing right there. Coming on down, we have our first cabin with this nice basket of fish, apples, and carrots. And I believe that there's some cherries in there. Now we do have a nice little ladder coming on down, which is really fresh looking. That's really cool. Then we have our next little cabin. This one has an outside balcony to where you can come out and look at the stars. Awesome. Then we do have our next balcony, which is the one where the stairs come up and into. Super awesome. Not sure if these are supposed to be walked around because that is a really tight clearance. But, you know, the designers know what the designers know. Coming on down, we get another look at that nice little fruit basket. And that is a fully operational winch, just so you know. That's really cool about this set. And then we have the nice detail of the tree trunk. As we come around, we see a tree stump stuffed back in there. And then we have a bird in a birdhouse just doing its thing. And you have these really nice detailed stairs. These are really cool looking. They did use a generic ladder piece, but everything else from here to here and here to here is all special. Super cool. Get more of that tree trunk. Now these two are plotting on the treasure. They believe that they found it and it's hidden right there. So soon these two kids are going to be stacked. Coming on over, we got some shrooms and some plants next to a nice little creek bed. And we do have a nice little swing. So those kids, if they want, after they get rich, they can go for a swing and party. Now, I did put this on a Mills plate to be worked into the city, and I will have to work with that later with all of this. But for now, I just wanted to get it on a plate so it can be put into the city whenever the hell that happens. Here we do have a nice little campfire made of wands for the sticks of the fire. Really cool. And these two are having a nice little chow down with some cocktails, and they're having a good old campy-dampy time. Now, let's take a look inside of those cabins, and it does look like I will have to remove some pieces to get in there. So as we continue our review, I did have to take a tree branch off of each little pod, as well as the lid to the pods, which is a nightmare. And it's going to be a focus nightmare for my camera, which is supposed to be the best vlogging camera. But at this point, I say best my ass. So here we have the master pod. If I can get you in there. Yeah, it's kind of horse shit the way that you can't really see these, but it is what it is. Then we go into the guest pod where we have the nice telescope and the balcony. Oh, it's a focusing nightmare. I really don't know how to use this camera. Or the camera just sucks, either one of the two. But here we have the nice double bunk beds for the kids, as well as all types of little goodies in there. You can really see into this one really well. Each cabin is color-coded, so you know where the lids go, as on that one. And then this is the bathroom cabin right here. It's got a bath. It's got a crapper. Super useful stuff. It does look like it's got a sink and some other stuff if this thing will focus. Yep. And that's what it all looks like when you take the lids off. So that's the review. Now let's talk about it, guys. So my final thoughts on the LEGO Ideas Treehouse. Honestly, building it with 19 bags, but a lot of them are just small little bags, did make the build go by really fast. But on this channel, you guys may see a reoccurring theme with me. When it comes to small bits, they drive me nuts. They drive me nuts on the Technic. They drive me nuts on the architecture sets. Like tomorrow's video, the Empire State Building. I don't really talk about it driving me nuts in that video, but let's just say if it didn't go by faster, I would be complaining in that video about the small bits. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm just impatient, but small bits drive me nuts. It is what it is. And these pods are really small. They're really cramped. And you just got to get in there and go one by one of everything until you make 3 pods. Then you repeat it, do it with the roof. Repeat it, do it for each like section of the tree trunk. And eventually, all these little teeny pieces makes this gigantic build. Am I happy it's over? Yes, I'm happy it's over. Do I love it now that it's done? Yes. I do love it now that it's done. There are LEGO builds out there that I love to look at, but I do not want to do. And I think that's what my deal is with this. I'm super happy that I did it. I actually enjoyed some parts of the build, and that's the weirdest part, is usually I enjoy building like the build and not the tree of these type of builds. Trees drive me nuts. But on this one, if you can look, you'll see that there are the autumn and the spring color leaves. And I think by making that decision, I put LEGO's jurisdiction into the trash, and I just said, this is my jurisdiction. This is where I'm going to be the designer and the artist, and I'm going to color these branches my way, because I don't know if I want autumn. I don't know if I want spring. In my city, I've got 3 different types of trees that are light to pale shades of green. And I think, yes, the A-frame cabin is autumn colors as well as spring colors. So I have a garden variety of tree colors. So when I made the decision to color this, I went with both. And I think by doing that, I really enjoyed the challenge mentally to read the book and replace the leaves and make those decisions of, okay, this one calls for a dark green. What am I going to put there? You know, let's do a bright yellow tied to a dark green with a stick that's yellow or bright green and working it in like that. I really enjoyed that part of the build. So for once, I enjoyed more of building the tree than I did the build. Weird. I know this morning I came out, I did about 4 bags this morning, and I went shopping with my wife, and all around the grocery store I was talking about this build, telling my wife, like, it's just not hitting. Like, it's cool, it's awesome, it's building Legos, but it's just not hitting. And, you know, when I got to the, to the night, and I just kept building, and then I got to the trees, then I really kept building. Like, as soon as I got done barbecuing my dinner, I was ready right back out here in the studio, finishing it, because I was so excited about the leaps. Who knows? So, is the build worth it? Yeah. It's really cool. You know, it's another one of those Lego builds that I always mention, that the more you look at it, the more you see stuff, and the more it's, you have appreciation for the design team that created it. Now, the $250 price tag is really threatening, but when it comes down to $200 on Amazon, that's when I would say go for it. If you're looking for a build that's getting ready to go out, and you want to get it while it's still not at, second rate price, $200 is perfect. That's like cake and eat it too price. It's almost retired. You can still buy it and for $50 off. So I would definitely get this set on sale, but take your time with the build. Don't try to get it done in 2 days like me. One last thing I do want to say, the box The box makes this super unappealing. One of my decisions in not going forward with this build originally was this box. Like, I hated this box. And I still do. Because it's really misleading on the pods and everything, on how they work. When you see my review portion of this video, you will see that I have to remove tree branches to get the camera into those pods. But yet they're so small that my camera still cannot focus enough to really see what's going on, unlike a modular building where the whole roof just comes off and there's plenty of space to play around. So that is an issue. But other than that, it's cool. I'm glad that it's done. I'm glad that it's now going to go over here and get ready to be a part of my Lego city. Hopefully soon I'll get the modular, the pieces to make the modular plates, the mills plates for the city, and we can start putting everything together, and we can get an idea of how the campground forest area is going to look in conjunction with the city, to the residentials, so forth and so on. So on that, guys, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. I really hope you guys are having an excellent Easter weekend. I know I'm going to be having a good weekend now that my last build, well, my second to last build of the week is done. So, awesome. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your Easter weekend and have a good one.